Good morning, everybody. Sorry for the delay. I was trying to find teeth glue and put on my fake face. Anyway, good morning, Gimme. Good morning, Sarah. We've got an echo.
Hold on. I don't think it's me.
Who's echoing? Who's got two screens open?
Not.
Echo. No, it's still echoing. It's not Emily. Just be with us, guys. Having technical difficulties.
I turned my mic off, so it's not me.
No, you're echoing. It's not Emily either. Sarah, it must be you, love.
Oh, she'll be back in a sec.
Yep, it was Sarah.
She has two open. Come back, Sarah.
To top everything off, I dropped my vape this morning. We'll get back to the hellos in a minute because I'm going to be fixing my vape up at the same time. Just bear with me, guys. I am so disorganized this morning. Let me just go grab a tea towel. Hang on a second. Oh. Have you ever had one of those mornings where things just don't go right? Well, that's this morning. Okay. All right, so back to the top. Good morning, Gimme. We'll let Sarah back in when she comes in. Good morning, Robbie. Good morning, Libby. Just be with my mouse is on its way out. Good morning, Lee. Thank you for the cleanup and the snackies. Who else have we got? Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Rowan. Good morning, Nut. Good morning, Nicole. Nice to see you again. Hi, Gail.
Twinning.
Hi, Amber. Emily's here, obviously. 20's here. Hi, Chris. Right. It was you echoing, Sarah.
Oh,
she couldn't hear anything.
She left it stopped.
I couldn't hear anything. Yeah.
All right. Good morning, V. Oh, right. So I've got a smashed tank that I've got to replace. Which isn't as stressful as it sounds. It's just frustrating because I'm going to have glass everywhere. How is everyone? You feel much better on your meds, Nicole? That is awesome. I must admit, I always feel better when I'm on my meds too. All right. How's everybody else? How are you all, guys? How is my panel today?
I'm good.
You're good. I'm just trying to break off a tank.
I see the big smiles behind that. Pinky. Nice smile.
All right. I'm tired, but I'm doing good, says 20. Nice. Tired. I can understand tired. I'm suffering from insomnia really badly at the moment. And a lot of that's to do with stress. But we will get there. Hi, Sarah. So, just a couple of announcements, updates, kind of really. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the glass out of there. We are still having issues with getting stuff pumped through quick enough. Now, please understand, writing me grumpy, shitty, really aggressive emails does not do you guys any favor. I am nice to you in everything I say, and it would be nice if the courtesy was returned. I understand the frustration that the canvases are taking longer. I understand that I'm still living under the frickin' shitstorm last year of what happened with Uniquely. We are not Uniquely, and I'm going to make that very, very clear. I'm not ripping you guys off. Your orders are in. They are paid for. They are waiting to be processed. However, there is so many companies that use the same supplier. We are in a queue like everybody else. The problem is we are small pickings. and the canvases that are ahead of us are thousands. When our queue comes up, our stuff gets designed, it gets packed, it gets sent. That's how it works. So please, 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 I'm just asking people, when you're messaging me, don't treat me like a piece of trash. That's not nice. That's not fair. That adds to my stress levels. I am already hounding the supplier. I do know that there is one batch that is in the designer at the moment. I don't know which batch it is. I will not know until I get the approvals to come through. They do them as they do them. I understand there are all people waiting for orders from July. I understand there are people waiting for orders from August and September. I am pushing these through as fast as I can. So please, guys, just be patient. I will get to emails. I know I haven't answered any in a couple of days. I've had a lot of personal stuff going on. And I just ask that you guys please be patient. It's stressful enough without being abused and uniquely thrown in my face every other email. Okay, I understand it. All right, that being said, like I said, I do know that the supplier has a batch on the table being designed. When I say they've been designed, they've been turned from my pattern, because I'd go from my art to my pattern. My pattern goes to the supplier. My supplier then turns it into a canvas. He then sends that back to approval before printing. Yes, they are in there too, Jeremy. They are in there, I promise you. You should have one coming out very soon, actually, if the order is in the right order. But yes, so please, 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 I just ask for a bit of patience. We're just trying to fix. And brother, I really appreciate your patience. You haven't hounded me. And there's a couple out there who haven't, and I'm really appreciative of you. But this year has been a learning curve for us. This is our first year in business. I made mistakes. Yes, I will own my mistakes. The mistakes aren't what caused the hold up, though. We are looking into other suppliers. My problem is the quality is really freaking amazing with the supplier I've got. And so we've been trying to tweak things as to do get things sped up. Things haven't worked. Things have been delayed more. Sometimes that's how it works. But we are looking into another supplier. We're just waiting to hear back from somebody else who's asking them if they drop ship, because we know their product is fantastic. That's what we're looking for. So just bear with us, guys. We are doing everything we can. Yeah. Hence my stress levels, and my blood pressure is like through the roof. So we are getting there. We are getting it. I'll get them when they come. I think I have two that I'm waiting on currently. I have enough to keep me busy, believe me. Yeah, most of us do, but I understand that I'm living under the shitstorm of last year still, because my name was connected to it, even though I had nothing to do with the ordering system. I had nothing to do with anything on that department.
You went on stealing someone's money.
Yeah, people lost money, and I lost a lot of money last year.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking 60 grand's worth. Okay, there it is. Yep. It's out in the open.
She stole from these folks as well as the people buying from her. So
yeah. Please understand that I'm not trashing on her. I'm just coming out. I'm speaking clearly. You guys want to talk about being burnt? Anyway, let's move on to better topic. I just wanted to give you guys an update. We are working I'm working as fast as I can to get shit done. And I'm doing everything I can to make sure that you guys get your canvases in the best quality absolutely physically possible. I think I've got like 5 orders on hold at the moment of mine, of my canvases, because I've told the supplier to hold them off until we get all your guys out. So, and the only one that's not being held off of mine is my Doctor Who one for the event, because while I'm hosting it, I kind of got to have one. But yeah, that's that in a nutshell. Okay. We'll go on to Emily. Sorry, I just needed to get that out so everyone knew where they were. I like to be transparent. There have been issues. glitches, my end glitches, their end, and it's just added up. And at the moment we are delayed. So we are doing everything we can. On to beautiful pens anyway. Let's bring Emily into the foreground. Let's have some good stuff.
Hi, guys. Hi, everybody. Miss Rose, I think you're doing fantastic. I know that it's hard. I know that things are not going as quickly or smoothly as you'd like them to, but it'll get there.
Thank you, love.
Okay, so first of all, tonight's pen, as I drop it, is this. It's so hard to see. This top half is got sparkly in it. This bottom half is this beautiful orange, and it turns to a light yellow color. It's glow in the dark.
Ooh, very pretty. Very
This
flash.
is tonight's Me Please.
Nice.
I don't know if it'll go. Let me see if I can go dark for a minute. Oh, yeah, it glows a little. You can see it glow a little.
Just a little. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll turn the light back on so you can see other goodies. We have a beautiful orange and purple and green white swirls coming up.
Oh, that's cool.
I love this end of it. It looks like a hot air balloon to me.
It does. It does. Not as nice as the one you've got up at the moment. That made
and
my heart.
then this one. I love this one. It is a, there we go. The blue and orange and silver. Some white, some black. This is the Tiger by the Water. I love this one.
Yeah, that's a pretty.
It's got so much in the silver and it's so cool. And then this one is hard to see, and I don't like showing it off because it's not easy to see, but it's like Halloweeny colors and it's got glitter in it.
Very cool.
Orange and green and purple.
And purples.
And glitters, yep. And
We all
those
like
are some of the ones, yes, we do. Those are some of the ones coming up. So tonight's pen is the glow in the dark with the sparkles in the top, which they're hard to see in this light, but yes, they do sparkle. I promise. I promise.
All right. So you guys know the drill. They are $55 US plus shipping.
$5. $5 US
US
shipping. Yep.
How much for Australia? 19.
19. Yep.
This is how well I know these pens. I love these pens. They are my all-time favorite. So you've got this little pumpkin spicy kind of one that's up for grabs today. I'm going to click start, guys. You know the drill by now. If you are wanting to go in the wheel, please say me, please. If you are wanting to purchase it, any time now is good. And we will put Emily back off center stage because I know she doesn't like being on center stage.
Thank you.
All right. So while we're waiting for everyone to think, like that pinky white, that pen you put up last night. Oh my gosh. Like
Sparkly
I literally
snow.
Yes. My heart went boom, 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 boom. So yeah. So anyone who's just come in, welcome. If you're new here, it's really easy. If you're wanting to purchase this pen, we do this every Wednesday. You just say me, please. What happens is your name goes into wheel with everybody else's who's me pleases here today. We spin it live so you can see, and whoever gets it is the one that gets to have the opportunity to buy it. And I've just realized I've lost my nose ring, so my nose piercing's good. It's been one of those days. Yeah.
I understand that.
Yes. So anyone want to me please a pen? Me. Is that for real, you, Kath? Me?
Yeah, I just got to commit to Maddie.
So
yes, it's real. I just have to commit. Yeah.
Alrighty. Oh my God, I don't know what you mean about that. So, I know Libby and I were drooling over it. It was just absolutely gorgeous.
You know I love
I
anything
wish-
that glows in the dark.
Yes, and it's pretty orange and it's got sparkles in it.
Sparkly and glow in the dark. What more could you want?
My favorite color is red and glow in the dark.
Yes. Anything that glows in the dark you like.
Yes.
I'm not making the blanket glow in the dark. That's just creepy.
Oh no, I don't want the blanket to glow in the dark. That's okay. Yeah.
All
So
right.
Rose is
getting
doing a
so
custom
big,
blanket for
Kath.
us. Yeah.
Squishy.
Rose is doing
What
us
was
a
that,
custom blanket. So
Yes.
sorry.
Aw.
I'm
What were you
not going
saying?
to show because that's yours to unbox and unveil when you're ready. It's a special one. It's a blanket, a minky blanket that we've designed especially for Zachary.
Yeah.
Because today is Zachary's birthday.
It is his birthday today, yes.
Which we'll get into there. So we've designed this very special blanket that's got his name on it, his full name and his date of birth on it. So, hi Gwenda. Are you off sick or are you on holiday? Because it's normally school holidays. I see you.
Yeah.
All right. So, as you guys know, like I went and saw my accountant a few weeks ago, got all my tax and all the accounts up to date and stuff, and everything with that's kosher. But there was one thing that they did recommend that I do. COVID. Oh no, that's not good. Stacey's just got over it. So no. One thing they recommended that I do is I split the merchandise away from the diamond painting, because what's happened is the diamond paintings took over the website, and so the merch has been lost. And so what I've done is I've separated my merch. I'm taking it down off the website slowly, and it will all eventually be going over to Etsy, where the supplier that I've got connected to my Etsy account, it's fantastic. Now, some of you guys have ordered, you'll know it is so quick. It's so quick. You put an order in, within 24 hours, it's off to the processor because it automatically gets sent. And then they automatically tell you where it's at. They automatically tell you when it's shipped with a tracking number. So all I do is look at the order, I pay for it, that's it. Everything else is done automatically. So, or actually even the paying's done automatically. It just goes out of my account, bye-bye. Yeah. So that's what's happening over at the Etsy store. Yeah, Shelley can tell you. She's ordered a couple of things. She's already got tracking number for one. She'll be due to have tracking number for the second one today or tomorrow. Some things take longer to print than others. Obviously, mink blankets take a little bit longer, for example. I think someone ordered a t-shirt on last Saturday. By Monday, they had tracking. That's how quick it is. It's all, I've connected it to make it easy. So do not stress about ordering at the Etsy store about it, but taking months and months and months. You literally, the dates, the timing that it says on there, it takes the delivery is the extreme. So if it says 30 days, that's the extreme. You should have that within less than 30 days. So that's super fast. And it's all like the designs are up. The companies have got the designs and it goes boom, boom, boom. Now the supplier is connected to a lot of other suppliers. So sometimes you might get things separately, but do not stress, they are all coming to you. So the merch is separate. So you're going to see stuff up there that isn't diamond painting related. You're going to see stuff up there that isn't even released as diamond paintings yet. There's a whole lot of new art up there that you might have seen me pop up on a post, but I haven't released. But it might be on a t-shirt or a singlet or a whatever I can put it on. Okay. Anything that is licensed to the lovely Mango Crafts stays with Mango Crafts. That you will not see those art pieces in my store. They are specifically for Mango's because she's paid for the licensing. Yes, they do get sent to the UK, Sarah. It can be a little bit expensive depending on what the product is. So if there is something that you are wanting, please let me know. I'll look into the shipping of it for you, and I will add it. I can add the countries to the thing, to the I just don't want to some countries because some are coming from here, some are coming from America. Okay, so all right, love, if there's something you want, let me know. Drop me a message and I will have a look into them and let you know what the shipping's going to be, and we can add them to it. Adding a country and taking a country off is easy, and I do it with a click of a button. It really is that easy. So it's just a matter of me working out what the shipping is with the supplier. So we can do that for you. Just let me know. All right. So that's what's happening with that. All right. We've only got one me, please. And that was Michelle. Shelley, were you? You weren't me, please. She's just going me for the thing. Yeah.
I don't know.
Thanks, Stacey. It's just a matter of separating it. They want it separated because the diamond paintings take over everything else. So the accountant said it looks better, and like she gave me, and I spoke to her and a business consultant, and yeah, so they're kind of, not for pen. Okay, Shelley, all good. Thought I saw two what? Okay.
No,
so
just one me, please. Just Cathe.
Just one. Okay, Cathe, do you want me to spin the wheel for you, love? No, we can just give you the pen.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm good.
Thank you, Cathe. Thank you.
You know I love Glow. You have my heart at Glow. You know it. That's why you do it. You do it just to tease me.
It's all good, Lee. It's all good. What other updates before we get into the serious conversation? All right. Is there anything else you would like to share? How's Halloween going, Emily?
Oh, Halloween is going very nice. It's our last week this week, and my parents are leaving on Friday, so it's sort of all closing at the same time, and I'm sort of sad, but it's been fun.
How can I be finishing this week already? Like, surely we must have extra weeks.
No, this is my 4th week.
It's gone so fast.
It has gone very fast, and we are so grateful for your beautiful pumpkins. I'm getting boxes finally. I've been searching for boxes to fit them.
Yeah, because the supplier didn't
It's
ship
okay.
them individually. They shipped them.
It's okay. I just so anybody that's here that's in the following event that might be listening knows that I'm not trying to be a stinker and not send canvases. I just have had box issues.
Yeah, because my supplier, to save on costing, sent them all at once in the same box. So
yes. So
yeah.
and I didn't want to send them in squished.
Yes.
I didn't want to send them in squished boxes because I didn't want them to get damaged. So we ordered some boxes from the postal service, actually. And they're like a triangle shape, so they should hold up very well.
Awesome. And no, guys, it is not being released. Those 2 pumpkins are only not being released as diamond paintings at my end at all. Nowhere. They were exclusively done for this event. But do watch out because I am going to be putting them on blankets. Okay. I am going to be putting them on blankets, and I will be releasing some posters and cups with them, and T-shirts and hoodies, and you name it, it's going. So, what you
We're
doing?
still waiting on the cat one, aren't we, Sarah? You promised this one with a cat.
What are you doing? Delivering
a diamond painting or a blanket?
the diamond painting with the cat and the pumpkin.
Oh yeah, no, that's yeah. I've held that off.
I don't want to send them with you.
Kind of over pumpkins. I think I painted
obviously not
3 pumpkins in a row. There was the Halloween one.
Thank you, sir.
The jack-o'-lantern, the normal other Halloween one, and then I did the witch.
Mm.
And by that time I was over pumpkins.
But we love cats, right? That's one of the reasons we're friends.
Never
when we're friends is so I can see pictures of her cat. Other reasons too.
You might not get it till next Halloween, but you'll get it.
My mail just got delivered at 7:30 at night. I feel very badly for them because normally they're done by 4 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
So,
I was hoping that I was going to have a massive, big unboxing to do today. And I'm just going to see where it is because it might still be about to be delivered. So this box is a box of amazing goodies. It is my 60th this Sunday, and I'll be treating myself to one of your pieces of artwork on the one with the diamond painting. Oh, yay, Sarah! Yes, the one with the diamond painting art has my art up there. It is different than what you'll see anywhere else. No one else has their images. They are exclusive. I do believe Captured by Radiance do have got some up as well. Obviously, and so has obviously Pam does. Pam and I work very closely together. That's 3. We've got Touched by the Soul. And of course, last but definitely not least, if you are down under in New Zealand and don't want to have to wait for ages and ages and ages, McBride Projects does my artwork as well. And she is the only stockist that will ever be in New Zealand for my artwork unless I happen to move home. And I'm not saying that too loudly because someone's going to throw stuff at me. She will always be the main stockist for my art in New Zealand. Happy birthday for Sunday, sorry, Sarah. It'll be my Monday. Come on, load already. I want to see where my stuff is. But yes,
Ms.
I
Rosa
have
Can I interrupt you? I'm sorry. I'm going to sneak out.
It's all right, love.
I love everybody.
I'll talk
Thank
to you later.
Yes.
I'll talk to you when you wake up.
Yes. Bye.
So lovely. So, it's just not telling me anything. It's just being a pain. It hasn't moved. I mean, to be fair, it's still got like 5 days before it needs to get here. I was just being hopeful because this stuff is really cool and I wanted to share it with you all, and I'm just going to track it on Australia Post and see what happens. But it's still on its way. But I'm not going to tell you what it is until I get them because then I can show you them. Is he going non-eyes?
He was screaming.
Oh, okay.
That's why I muted. You're going to start again? I'm going to mute him.
So, guys, as you guys know, Cathe and I are co-hosting together the Still My Baby DP. So this is a very special month for a lot of us who have gone through miscarriages or lost children, or regardless of age, stillborns, 28, 27-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 4-year-olds, whatever, as well. And we decided that this was a really good month for us to bring in infertility and the issues that go with women and combine it. So this is what this month is about. There is no prizes. It is just about raising awareness, breaking the silence and the stigma behind having to hide what you've gone through and the pain that you go through, and because it just doesn't go away. So if you are doing the event, there is you are welcome. Please, we would love to see what you're working on. We love the fact that people are working on different things that mean something. There is no criteria other than the image needs to mean something to you in your journey to become a parent, whether that's still trying to conceive, IVF, infertility, PCOS, endo, adoption, miscarriage, stillborn, death of a child, that sort of thing. Okay, we just want it to be something special to you. As you guys know, I've got Josephine Wall's Butterfly Princess on my table, and whoa, let me tell you guys, I'm blinking this as I go. And I don't know if you guys remember from in August, I lost my legend, And so I have been randomly winging it, and I'm just, let me just say, I'm very, very happy with how it is. I was born never being able to have kids, was born without ears. Wow, Martina, that is extremely, extremely rare.
So sorry that you, yeah, I can't imagine that.
Would you foster or adopt, or like, just because I've got, so we're a blended family. So with us, I've got bonus children who belong to Rory. I've got, I've still got her. She's passed on, but I have an adopted daughter, and I have 2 natural born children
and angel babies.
So yeah, so we're a family of 6 kids all up. And sadly we only ever managed to get 5 all at once, because by the time Rory and I got together, so blended families can be quite beneficial. I think adoption and fostering is very important, especially good foster homes.
Yes.
I adopted Bridie when she was 16. So, yeah, Bridie at 16 was a bit of a learning curve.
I have a nephew who was raised in a foster home, and his foster home is amazing. He has multiple families now because of this loving foster home he had. He was very lucky.
Yeah.
He's a really sweet kid. Well, I shouldn't say kid, he's like 19, but
yeah. So I was 22, 23 when I adopted Bridie, and she was 16. So it was a big learning curve. I am sure you've dealt with a lot of emotions that go along with that, Matt. And it must be an interesting story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It's very hard to adopt in New Zealand. So I've got an adopted sister. I've got half sisters, stepbrothers and sisters, full biological and adopted. So yeah. Me and my boyfriend have talked if it's in the fate for us, we would like to adopt, but then we would have a cat that is as bad as but then we have a cat that's as bad as a 2-year-old. I hear you. I do.
I have a bird who's louder than the baby, so there's that. He's in another room and you can still hear him.
Yes, well, he's had to go through some adjustments because he was used to being the only baby for a while.
Yeah.
So that's the whole journey for this month, and that is to talk about it and bring awareness. So today we have the lovely Sarah Diamonds with us, and she's just showing us her beautiful canvas. What canvas are you doing, Sarah?
I am doing this one,
Forever in My Heart. That is beautiful.
Yeah. Mandy Manzano.
Yep. Mandy Manzano.
Yeah,
I think Gail's doing that one as well, isn't she? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Mandy has some beautiful artwork.
She does. She's just sadly, yeah. That's not one I'm going to go into publicly. Let's just leave that there. Yeah. I feel that Mary Jane is crazy. I am sure she is, brother. Like, I've seen that cat when I've been video calling. So, yes.
I love Mary Jane as well. We have similar personalities, I think. I also like to bite.
Yes. So it's got yeah. So Sarah, would you like to us to ask you questions, or would you like to tell us your story?
I'd probably find it easier if you ask me questions.
Okay. Don't let me forget I have a pen to show off.
You have a pen?
Okay. I have a pen to show off, yeah. Okay, so it's a bit hard to ask questions when I don't know how much you want me to share. That's awesome, Nicole.
Just ask whatever you want to ask. It's all right.
Do you want to tell us about? So Sarah's doing a event next March, I believe.
Yeah. Tell us about your event.
So I'm doing a awareness event next March for endometriosis awareness, and the only requirements is it needs to have yellow in it.
Yeah.
There's not going to be prizes or anything. It's just going to be me sharing information, as much information as I can, to get more education around it, because not many people know what it is.
Okay,
Even
so
doctors.
how does so why are you doing this event? Why is this event important for you?
It's important for me because there needs to be more education around it, and because I suffer from it myself, which I think was caused maybe by the miscarriage I had.
Yeah.
Because they say it's hereditary, but no one else in my family has it, or
Yeah.
knew that they had it. The reason I think my miscarriage caused it is because they didn't do a D&C afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
They just let me go home.
Yeah.
So I suppose that brings me to the beginning of my story. I got pregnant at the age of 20. It was due 5 days before my 21st birthday. I'd had all the regular scans and all that. It wasn't a very, I was very, very sick. My morning sickness was really, really bad. I wasn't even able to hold water down.
Yeah.
For weeks and weeks. I had a scan at 17 weeks. Everything was fine.
Yeah.
But I'd also had a car crash a week before the scan. And they rushed me in the ambulance to the hospital just so I could get checked out. And all they did was poke and prod my stomach, say, "Yep, you're fine. You can go home." And then I think it was the Monday of the next week I had the scan, everything was fine. And then a couple of days later, I woke up at about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning in a pool of my own blood. I was at the time living alone because my mum had said that it would be best for me to move out so that she didn't have to be live-in babysitter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I woke up in a pool of my own blood, didn't know what was going on, rang the ambulance for myself. Ambulance turned up, and then I had to wait another 20 minutes because the ambulance turned up with only one paramedic. So I had to wait another 20 minutes for another paramedic to turn up.
Yeah.
And then, so this whole time I had no idea what was happening. They couldn't tell me anything. I get to the ED. I think I'd been there about 3-4 hours. They did a scan and said they couldn't find a heartbeat.
And that's a lot of trauma to go through.
And because I was past what they call the 12-week safe zone, I didn't think anything like that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And they admitted me so that I could pass it properly.
Yeah.
I was up there all day. I think my mum ended up coming to see me in the ED, told me off for not ringing her when it happened. I think I was in the hospital all day. They'd given me some stuff to bring on contractions. And then, so I was a smoker at the time. I told them I wanted to go outside so I could smoke. Got on the elevator, it was going down, and I felt something inside me move around. Went out for my smoke, came back up, went to the toilet. Coincidentally, I had passed my baby in the toilet and then flushed it without knowing, because
Yeah.
I was so doped up on the drugs that
Yeah.
I was just on autopilot.
Yeah.
They wanted to do a biopsy or autopsy to find out what had happened, but because I flushed it, they couldn't do that.
Yeah.
But I've now come to the realization that it was probably caused from a placental abruption from the car accident.
Yeah.
I've heard that
So,
before.
Car accident.
Yeah. And that was, I'm 32 now, so that was 11 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's still hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I was 3 weeks away from finding out the gender, or a couple of weeks away from finding out the gender.
yeah. So
And all
I'm
they
trying to
did to check that I was okay was do an ultrasound and say, yep, your uterus is empty, you can go. They didn't do a DNC or anything to clean any extra stuff out.
No, that's not okay.
No. But they don't, and like the anti-abortion laws in America also now make this reality that Sarah's been
Yep.
through a possibility, because the DNC is classed as an abortion.
Yep.
Never mind that it's a medical procedure.
But a
That
DNC
saves
is similar. It's similar to an abortion.
Yeah.
As someone who's had a DNC because I was hemorrhaging, I would have had it because I was hemorrhaging, saved my life, sort of thing. But I was one. I guess you could say I was a lucky one, because some people, if you were just slowly bleeding, they'd possibly just leave you.
Yeah. I had a friend in America who has been seriously affected by this new law, and she carried her dead baby inside her for 2 months because they couldn't do a DNC.
How did she not end up with sepsis?
She was monitored. She ended up with meningitis very badly and a lot of other stuff. But it did traumatize her very, 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 very much. Anyway, back to you, Sarah. So, Sarah, I'm just trying to think how I'm going to word this. I know from my experience how losing a child and then trying to have another one and the journey that entails. How's this affected you now that, like, you're married and you're wanting to start a family? How has what you've been through emotionally and mentally affected you in trying to conceive another child?
There's always going to be that fear that I'm not going to be able to carry the full term.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm always going to have that fear, you know. And then there's also the fear of, what if I can't conceive at all?
Yeah.
You know, because the endo has caused a low ovarian reserve, so that's going to make my chances harder. I also only have one working tube, which is another added obstacle. So
yeah, the thing with the tubes, though, because I've got a blocked one as well, is you still ovulate every month.
Yeah.
So the egg still.
It can go down the other tube. It's actually really amazing. I'll try to find you. I'll try to send you the thing later about that I've seen about that. I found that really, really interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's caused a whole lot of extra issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just was always under the impression that I wasn't going to be able to have another one.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are currently trying in a few months, so we'll see what happens.
It can take some time, especially if you're still dealing with trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was 18 with my Josh, and I had Jordan at 27.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And For some
My
reason, I don't know what
age
it's
is probably still is also a factor as well. I mean, I know they say after 35, but I'm 32,
Oh, yeah.
so
After 35, you're considered geriatric.
yeah. So
Hey, New Zealand, it's 33. I was geriatric with Kenzie. Now I am geriatric. No more babies for me.
but one thing that I'm always going to remember is when my mum was up at the hospital, she stayed up there all day with me. The one thing she said to me was, at least you're not giving birth to a full-term baby.
Yeah. It doesn't
make it any better.
no offense to your mum at all. That does not
No.
help.
The other thing that didn't help was, so I'd obviously had to take some time off work. And the day I went back to work, my ex-boyfriend and his new wife announced they were pregnant.
Oh.
Was he the baby's father?
No.
Okay.
And I also had one of the ladies I worked with asking me if I was actually ever pregnant in the first place.
There you go. Gwenda's joining us in the geriatric brigade. She had her youngest at 39. It's not over till you're in menopause, ladies. Just saying.
Hey, it's not even over when you're in menopause. It's not over until you're finished menopause.
Don't even go there, girlfriend. I've just started. No.
I have a friend who got pregnant in early menopause, and she has PCOS. She's now got a 2-year-old. She's 40 something. Right.
Rose Wills. Hiya, Rose. When I had Isabella, they told me I was still young because women here in Adelaide are still having babies in their 40s. Well,
Oh, yeah, it's just a term they use sometimes.
Yeah. I have a big version of a child that's like a baby, so in a lot of ways. And you know.
Okay, I'm 38 with the 6-month-old, and I feel old. I feel old. I see these young women walking around with their little babies, and they're like all perky and stuff. I'm like, man, I'm a grandma. Doesn't help when you go places and people say, "Oh, have you got your grandson today?" He's my baby.
My grandson's 2 years older than his auntie.
I know it's a possibility, but oh my god.
Yeah.
But yeah, with what you're going through, Sarah, I know you were saying to me the other day, it's hard not to lose hope.
Yeah. And especially when you've had, like I know when I got married to my first husband and we decided we were going to try and have a baby, and we had loss after loss after loss. And I felt like I was being punished. And this is where, we beat ourselves up and we don't do ourselves any favor. So Libby says she was 44 when she had Teddy and fell pregnant after her. We're going to hear Libby's story next week, by the way, guys. She's got quite an interesting story. Rose, I hear you. Kath, I just turned 41. You guys are all babies. V, I had 2 geriatric pregnancies, turning 45 next month, and have a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old and have an 8-year-old granddaughter. Wow, girl.
Wow.
You're rocking it.
Wow, I don't know how you do it.
Nice.
Gail, you're 37, Gail.
Yeah,
Are you?
37. And she was 41 when she had her youngest.
Oh, okay.
I was 27 when I gave birth to Jordan, and I was 33 when I gave birth to Kenzie. So that was when my baby making, trying to have a baby stopped, was at 33, and I haven't. I got my tubes tied, burnt. There's just not a lot there that works down there anymore. And when you've gone through years of infertility and miscarriages and stuff, it just becomes a relief at the end of it.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Sarah, so you're saying you're trying to conceive, and I know that that's stressful enough. What advice can you give to women who have gone through what you've gone through, and trying to have another baby?
Don't lose hope, and if it's going to happen, it'll happen. Probably all I can tell them and tell myself.
Try not
So
to beat
telling
yourself
yourself
up.
that's the hardest part, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 And also probably not good for anybody's mental health to obsessively symptom chase or be on stuff.
No, that's why one of the things I say to you is wait till you're late before you test.
Yeah.
And that's because I've gone through the years and years of infertility, and the one thing that saved my sanity, what I had left, was I would wait until I was a week late.
Yeah.
I'm terrible. I'm one of those people who tests early.
Yeah,
I didn't with
but
him though. That's because we didn't have any in the house.
Yeah, we went through. I've gone. So I worked it out. So I was 18 when I had Josh, and I was 27 when I had Jordan. So that's 9 years. So there was 9 years because I ended up married and trying to have children for most of that time. So it was probably say there was 7 years solidly of trying to have a baby and miscarriaging in that time. And then between 27 and 33, that was once Jordan hit 2, so I was 29. There was another 4 years, so 8, 9, 10, 11. There's about 11 years, 12 years of constantly monitoring, trying to get pregnant, scheduling sex, doing the temperatures, doing the blood work, doing the fertility doctors, doing the getting pregnant, getting excited, getting your hopes up, only to have them crushed. And then losing children. And it just, for me, by the time Kenzie was born, I had this understanding with the universe that if I ended up with an emergency C-section, that was the universe's way of saying to me, no more. You've done your dash. You've done your journey. So when and that was the understanding I had with my obstetrician as well. And so when we ended up in an emergency C-section with Kenzie, that when she asked me after she got Kenzie out, and Kenzie was actually in my arms, I was still open on the table, and she says to me, do you want to go through with this? And I went, yes. And after the journey I'd had, I was quite relieved.
Yeah.
See, Rose,
get a different
doctor, Rose. Seriously, because I had mine done at 33. It was in New Zealand, but if Rory and I had decided to have children together, we would have had to have gone through IVF. Everything else was still working. I haven't had a period in like 7 years. But that's because of the cervical cancer and treatments I had for that. So, Sarah, I'm going to ask you, why did you choose this image other than the fact that it's obviously an angel? What about this spoke to you?
It was one of those, you know how you get those images and you look at it and it's like, it makes your heart stop, or you know,
you feel it in your
and
soul.
you're like, I need that. Like, if I don't get that, I'm gonna regret it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those ones. Yeah, because of how it made me feel and what I can see for it.
Yeah. So one of the best advice I was ever given when I lost Bailey, so I'd already gone through a few losses by then, was to name your baby. Did you give your baby a name, and you don't have to share it, but if you did, would you like to share?
I did. For the whole pregnancy, I had this feeling that it was going to be a boy. Don't know why. So I gave it the name of Xavier.
Yeah.
Nice.
A beautiful name.
That's a nice name.
But now I'm not going to be able to use that name for any other child. if
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
A child, yeah.
Yeah, I got told by a psychologist that it helps you with the grieving
It does.
process.
It does.
It gives you someone to grieve, not just something. Was
Yeah.
her wording of it? So,
We bought back in the day when you could buy like a constellation or like a star.
Yeah.
We did that for Bailey. So there's a star named Bailey somewhere up there.
We planted a tree.
You what? Sorry?
We planted a tree.
Planted
a
a tree.
tree.
Yeah. I had rose bushes planted in the house that I used to own, and they're no longer there, but what we were given back, which wasn't a lot, we planted under each of the rose bushes. So there was 6 rose bushes.
My internet's been weird.
That's right. Down the side of the house, all different colours, representing each one. So I just got to find. I had some notes for today.
Yeah, I was supposed to write myself notes, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I never write notes, you know that. I always forget.
Okay, so there is a lot of really good advice out there for coping with the loss of a child, regardless of when it was. So whether you've miscarried, whether you've delivered that child, whether you've watched part of that child grow up, grief comes with a lot of emotions and a lot of stress. So it is quite common to have intense sadness and depression. It is quite common to have the yearning to hold that baby or that child. It is quite common to have anxiety or fear about the future. You can be in shock and have difficulties comprehending the loss and the mass of the loss. Confusion, loneliness, anger and resentment. I was so angry when Bridie died. Like I was so angry with the world. You know, it's when you've miscarried or you've had a stillborn baby, a whole lot of guilt comes with that. That, you know, you blame yourself. I'm seeing women here who have delivered stillborn babies and who've Sarah, you're definitely not alone there. Cathe and I have both been there. You blame yourself. You think, what could I have done if, because back then, especially in my day, it wasn't an issue to quit smoking. So it was like, what if I'd quit smoking? What if I had not done paint? Like for me with the twins, especially, I'd been painting a kitchen, like a 12-stud high kitchen. It's an old farmhouse with high ceilings, and I had been painting the kitchen and the cupboards so I was kind of like, if I'd not done that, would the twins have been here? And and it was harder for me. My ex-husband, not Kenzie and Jordan's dad, the other one before him, I don't think he even acknowledges the twins at all. And to be fair, he wasn't that great at the time either, but so it is quite common to have issues with not sleeping. And the one thing that we don't take into consideration, and a lot of people should, is when you've lost a child, whether it be regardless of the way, it actually affects your relationships, especially if you're in a relationship with the father of the child. Yeah. Because you're both grieving and you're both having trouble. Everyone has trouble dealing with the emotions that comes with it. And that is something that we need to acknowledge. And so like I really advise people when they've gone through stuff is that you need single counseling, but you also need that group counseling together, that couples counseling, because it is, you're not the only one going through it. The other side of that equation is the other parent. They still lost a child. They still have to deal with the grief of that child being gone as well. When we lost Bridie, Pete kind of got pushed aside a little bit because everyone was focusing on me. But it was still his child as well.
Yeah.
You know.
So one of the things that Matthew and I thought was very important was that we keep communicating, because we did hear about the statistics of relationships breaking up after losing a child. And so the communication is really important. And one of the things, and I think I said it last week, but I'll say it again, we decided you can fall apart or you can fall together, and we decided to fall together. We're going to grieve together. We're going to keep communicating, because although we don't exactly know what each other's feeling, it's the closest to what we are feeling ourselves.
Yeah.
So,
if you're feeling it, you can guarantee that the other side of the equation is feeling it too.
yes.
The other parent is feeling it. They might not express it the same way. They might have ways of dealing with it differently, but they're still dealing with it. So that is something to keep into consideration.
Trying to conceive after a loss is also really hard on your relationship.
Yes.
Trying to conceive at all is hard on your relationship, I'd imagine. But when we didn't really try with our first pregnancy, it just happened. We were trying with Zach, and we were trying with Josh. And it's really hard on your relationship, especially trying for Josh, because we were both very thick in the grief, but we don't want, because we're getting older and stuff, we don't want to wait. And it was very hard on our relationship. So
I have both Jordan and Kenzie were conceived after a loss.
Yeah.
Literally a month after a loss. Not to the extent of, like, I was only like 6 weeks, but straight away I got pregnant. Both times.
Yeah.
You know, and Chris, that is actually something I was going to actually touch base on. When there is already children in the home, it does affect them as well. And so you need to make them a part of that grieving, healing process.
Yeah.
When Bridie died, we had grief counseling for the whole entire family, because it was the way, especially Jordan, because like Jordan was 8. No. So 7 or 8. I think he was 8. So he was still quite young. And he had physically watched his sister die.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. He had just gone through a year of watching me rush off to the hospital with Kenzie and stopping breathing all the time. And then he watched, sort of like a year later, watched his big sister die in front of him. So that is definitely something that we need to remember, that it doesn't just affect us. And it also, like grandparents and aunties and uncles, they, you know, especially if you have a close connection with them and they've been a part of that child's life or pregnancy in some way, then it affects them as well.
I know with Matthew's daughter, with my stepdaughter, we rang up and told Matthew rang up and told his ex-wife, you know, his daughter's mother, this is what's happened. And she sat down and talked to her, and she was very conscious, because she had losses herself, of what was going on and of helping her daughter through that grief. And my husband's ex-wife, she also grieved with us because her daughter was grieving. And, you know, it was a lot. It's a lot for everyone to go through, because your friends are dealing with it. Everyone's dealing with it. With a stillbirth, having the funeral, and it was COVID, so we weren't allowed a lot of people at the funeral, but people still, you could, this tiny little coffin, and people, you could feel it. You could feel the agony people were feeling just looking at that. So I think there's a lot
enough in its own right.
Yeah.
That tiny little, tiny little, just, yeah.
Yeah, Matthew was able to carry it, like, just, yeah. So it's a lot, and to remember that everyone is going through it. The parents, yes, are going through it the most, and then, you know, siblings and stuff. But everyone, like, it ripples out.
Yes.
My friend who I mentioned before, like, she's got a 2-year-old, and so she had him just a couple of months before I was meant to have my son. And so she was grieving because she was grieving because, you know, she's like, well, there's meant to be this other child here who my son could have grown up with, and she was thinking that, and so she was grieving for herself and for what she'd lost as well as for us. And we had other friends I had a cousin whose wife was pregnant, and we had a friend who were both pregnant at the same time that we lost Zach. And so the end of their pregnancies, knowing that this had just happened, the end of their pregnancies were very traumatic because then they had that fear as well.
Yeah.
Like it's the ripples that go out. It's really, awful.
I had a cousin who was born literally 8 hours before me. And I grew up knowing this story. I grew up wondering, because I had a very special bond with my auntie.
Yeah.
And her daughter died at a very young age. Like she was like 2 or 3 months. And I remember being told by my auntie and my mum that at the funeral, Mum had left me in the car. This is back in 1973. And Auntie Emily had said to Mum, enter my full name for those that know it. Miss Rose. We'll just go with Rose.
Rosie Posey.
Yes. You know, and she's like, I've left her in the car. And Auntie Emily said, can you go get her? And Mum was like, oh, you know, and because it was my Auntie Emily and my Uncle John that had lost their daughter. And Mum went and got me, and my auntie held me through the whole entire funeral.
Yeah.
Because it helped her process that empty arm feeling.
It's awful.
It is.
Yes, it is. It's awful, that feeling.
I grew up with a very close bond with her. So when I actually was able to bring into this world a child, which was Jordan, the first couple of years of his life, like as soon as I could travel, I'd had a C-section. So as soon as I could travel, I drove up there with my newborn baby 6 weeks after a C-section so that Jordan could be placed in her arms, because it was the closest thing that she would have got to a grandchild from her daughter was me. And so I've got a beautiful photo of Jordan as a baby with Auntie Emily and Uncle John, which I treasure very much because they're both gone now. But you don't realize how much you can help someone heal. And it's not always the big gestures, it's the little things. It's the being there to hear their story. It's being there to support them. Like when, for us, it was my friend Charmaine, who is, ironically, I will never forget Zach's birthday because it's the same day as hers. Her birthday's today as well. She cooked my meal. She changed my daughter's butt. She got my children fed, bathed, and in bed. That first week was zombie material for me. And it's those things that you're grateful for. It's the they knock on the door and they hand you a dinner meal or a plate of biscuits, or they come in and they clean your house, or they come in and wash your washing or hang out your washing, or it's those things that you physically cannot do because you're grieving. People can be such harsh assholes. Back about 7 years ago, my girlfriend had a miscarriage and people told me that I shouldn't feel depressed or sad because I had no relations with their baby. It was your baby. Brother, that was your baby. That was still your child. You're still half of that DNA. You have every right to grieve that child.
Yeah.
You were the father. And the what ifs, the what should have been, what could have been, what should have, as you grieve all of that.
Sometimes I think fathers get it worse than mothers because they're not expected to feel the connection.
No,
when a
men
woman has
aren't
been
allowed
struck.
to feel, and I say that
Yeah.
very, very sarcastically.
It's I know that's with Matthew. Like when we lost Noah, our first, that a lot of people, there was people who were really awful and were telling us that we deserved it because we weren't married yet and we'd got married and God was punishing us and that person can go play in traffic. But anyway, but people were they were sad for me, but they weren't for Matthew. They were like, you didn't really experience this. This wasn't, it wasn't your body and stuff, but it was his child. He was there. He was, he was excited
You both
too.
loved.
Yes, from the instant that stick said, yes, we're pregnant, we're like, oh my God, this is exciting. And it's awful. And I'm so sorry that happened to you, brother. Like
I think the
makes me
hardest thing for men is not only do they have to grieve for their loss, they have to watch the love of their life or their partner, or, the person that they love at that point in time in life go through everything. And that's harder for a man, and we need to acknowledge that we really do. We need to, that's why, I think you and I have had conversations about this when I've said to you, Maddie not only had to watch you grieve and go through everything you did, he was also grieving the loss of Zach and Noah as well. And it's very, very hard. And I wish I had this. Sadly, a lot of people don't get that knowledge until they've been through it. And it's an elite club that I don't wish on anybody.
I don't really want us to be part of, no.
We never want to be a part of it.
Yeah. It's something that the three of us and Libby, we have a chat with the four of us, which is not us being exclusionary. It's just a chat with the four of us. It's something the four of us have in common. And that chat started when I was pregnant with Josh, I think, if I remember correctly, because I'll tell you guys, it was not an easy pregnancy. I went through a lot of emotions. I was not okay for the entire of that pregnancy. And these three women were the ones who were, trying to be my cheerleaders and champion me on.
There were days we kicked you. We kicked you up the butt. There were days.
Yes. But it means a lot to have people who have had experienced it, but at the same time, it makes you so sad that they also have experienced it. It's not something you wish upon anyone. I wouldn't wish this upon my worst enemy, or it's awful.
It is.
And the awful things people say, and for us as women,
people say without thinking, they do it without thinking. They do it without even giving a thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Lib. Many years ago, men weren't allowed to cry because they were told they weren't a man. And even today, it's the same.
Yes.
If you were born in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and probably even further on, you were brought up. I crave cheeseburgers too. Brought up, it's not okay for a man to cry. I have the most beautiful, sensitive son, and I wouldn't change him for the world.
Funny story about cheeseburgers. I hate cheeseburgers. I hate processed beef burgers.
But
that was all I wanted when I was pregnant with him.
At midnight.
That's Everyone who was dealing with me. Oh, that's all I wanted was cheeseburgers for like the first trimester.
I was so tired of cheeseburgers. And what was the other thing? There was one other thing, a chip, some kind of chips.
Oh yeah, chips. There was chips as well. There was something. Oh my gosh, I can't remember what the other thing was, but yeah, cheeseburgers. Oh. I even now, when Matthew sits there eating a cheeseburger, and I want to throw up. I'm like, I hate these things even more now than I do when I was pregnant. So
mine was double Whoppers with cheese from Burger King or Hungry Jack's.
Oh yeah, it was Hungry Jack's.
Yeah, potato and gravy from KFC.
I love potato gravy.
See, Kenzie, I had the veggie and gravy. The first thing I ever got with any of my pregnancies was smoked fish. I craved fresh smoked fish. People just
I usually get. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I was just reading comments.
But like one of my first acknowledges that I am pregnant is that I start craving steak, which is again something I don't really eat. And that's when we're like, so that happened with him. I was like, okay, might have to do a test.
So V's just saying she was told similar things,
Thank
told
you.
if I'd not had my oldest out of wedlock, then he wouldn't have had to suffer so much because it was my punishment. This was said before, a few years before it passed, but it was such a blessing in so many ways. You know what? Children are a blessing regardless of how they're conceived in or out of wedlock. Only one of my children is conceived in wedlock, and she's 16. And she's been the biggest. she's given me the most grey hair out of all of them. So
it's not something I've ever read in the Bible, so I don't know. In the Bible, they didn't actually have official weddings. Like it was like an agreement.
A man took a woman home, and then she became his wife.
Like it was an agreement and stuff.
And I became his wife.
So Matthew and I, we have had the legal marriage as well for legal reasons, but when we decided, okay, we're going to be together, which was very early in our relationship, like we got engaged, we've only been together for a couple of months, but when we decided that, it was like, well, this is what we've decided, and so as far as we were concerned, we were man and wife, even if it wasn't legally.
Watching your hands, so I'm giggling at
Josh
because he's just watching your hands go backwards and forwards.
Yeah. So it was, and having people say that, and it's not a godly thing. It's not something that good Christian people would do say.
If you go off the Bible, Mary was not married to Joseph when she got pregnant with Jesus.
No.
So
He was engaged. They weren't married, and he considered not marrying her, putting her aside. I think it was called.
Yeah.
Hello, Ratbag. Hi.
Isn't it funny the rules that we humans stick on each other?
Yep.
Because we think that's how it should be.
It's a control thing, in my opinion. And a lot of faith-related stuff is about control. And you notice one person from a faith does something bad, and then everyone from that faith is evil, which you would know. You're a pagan, so
Yes,
we were having this conversation the other day that that people say, oh, that faith is bad. It's like, no, people are bad. People use their interpretation of what the belief system is to be assholes, and that's what's bad. People are bad. Faith is not bad.
No. There's this thing called free will that we're all given, regardless of who you worship.
Mm-hmm.
We are all given free will to choose who we wish to worship.
Yes.
For you, it's God. For me, it's Danu.
Yes.
Rory is an atheist. He doesn't believe in anything. His common line is, I don't believe in fairy tales. Which I use when Jehovah's Witnesses and stuff come to my door. I'm sorry, I don't believe in fairy tales. Goodbye. Or when I hit someone knock on my door and they say, we just wanted to pray with you. Well, that's fine, but I wanted you. Oh, you can pray for me, but I'll do a pagan blessing for you. They don't come in.
I start talking about different Bible verses.
We put heavy metal on if we see Joho's walking down the road. We put on heavy metal music, and then they don't come to the door.
Oh my goodness! And in New Zealand, they're bad. I used to be one in New Zealand, so I actually was a Joho. So there we go. Once upon a time.
Oh dear. You escaped that.
Married, but like his husband and wife. Exactly. Rory and I aren't legally married, but we've been together for 14 years. We've lived together for most of that time.
So you're legally de facto.
Yes. I am his common law wife.
You're common law or common something else?
Well, I'd say that too, yeah. But this is
you said the other one to me. But I'm not going to say the word because I don't want you to get banned.
Yeah. Hello, Joshy. Hello.
Yeah, he's just woken up. He had a nap for a bit. Now he's trying to play with the light. My light actually has eyes.
Oh, your ring light? Oh, yeah.
I gave it eyes. Oops, I just popped one off. It's got eyes. I can't get it.
I just wanted to add something onto what I was saying. You know how I said it was due 5 days before my 21st?
Yep.
I didn't think I was ever going to have a 21st. So what did I do at my 21st? Like,
well, fair enough.
Really
Well,
drunk.
I probably would have too 5 days after losing a baby, to be honest.
I think I didn't lose it on its due date. I lost it in, I think, January, and then my 21st was in the July, so I had all that time to plan for it. And because I hadn't been drinking for so long, I didn't have to have much to
Get drunk. Yeah.
But I
When
think
I
the worst
lost-
thing that someone ever said to me that made the grief worse was I went out to a club in town, and everyone came up to me asking me if I was okay, and it just caused me to, like, all my emotions came out because
I'm so
everyone was
sorry.
saying, "Are
Are
you
you
okay? Are
okay?"
you okay?" Yeah,
Yeah, the head tilt.
that was the hardest.
Yeah. For when I lost my first one, because no one knew, there was only one person who knew I was pregnant. That was my grandfather, and he died before I lost Josh. And I had hidden my pregnancy for close to 20 weeks, and it was not an easy time. I didn't have anyone to turn to. I had one friend who helped me through it all. But I really didn't have anyone else to. I grieved in quiet. I went completely off the rails. I got back into drugs. I got back into alcohol. I was 18, and I blamed myself because I wasn't in a very good mental state. And I was, I went off the rails very, really quickly. And for years, I blamed myself. All right, so I had Joe come to the door and I said, sorry, I can't stand long. I just had a blood transfusion and they became back long. So I had my first husband's marriage. They were Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't know if they still are or not, but his brother was in a big milk tanker accident and nearly lost his life, and they didn't have a blood transfusion. So he's very, very lucky to be here. Carl's
Yeah, because they don't like they frown against blood transfusion.
Something about blood and life or something, I think.
Yeah, blood is the sanctuary of life. So ways to deal with grief, whether it be a miscarriage, whether it be a loss of a child, any grief really. One, reach out for support. Talking about how you're feeling with supportive people can help you feel less lonely. Having someone to listen to you and offer you advice can be what you need. Okay. If it can't be a family member, reach out to someone that you trust, and if you've got no one that you trust, reach out to a therapist. Losses, when you lose something that you treasure, someone that you've treasured, especially with a child, it is very, very easy to isolate yourself. So make sure that you keep just a couple of people super close to you to help you get through that time. And and your partners as well, make sure they've got someone. If you're that way inclined, you can attend a grief support group. Counseling groups are very enlightening. You meet other people who are going through what you've gone through. For me, this was a big help, was expressing your feelings creatively. Like I did music, I sung, I played music, I literally got so absorbed in everything. And just I wrote journals, I wrote stories, I wrote, I wasn't doing art back then. I got into photography in a big way because I could get away from the house and away from the pain, and I could no one comes near you with a camera when you've got a camera. That's what I found. And it was a barrier. So every time I put my camera up, it was a barrier between me and people. Another important thing is when you're going through grief is to please remember to look after yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically. So make sure you are seeing a doctor regularly, making sure that your health is you're getting those regular checks, because that is really important. And keep the memory keep the memory alive. Whether it be a kick in the stomach, whether it be the joy of finding out you were pregnant, whatever that is. Remember, keep those memories alive. We remember Bridie all the time, whether it be because we've seen a butterfly go past, whether like every August we do her movies. We've got Labyrinth, we've got Princess Bride, and we've got Rocky Horror. So we have every August on her anniversary. No matter where we are in the world, Jordan and I always, and Pete, watch those movies, and Rory just kind of gets dragged into it because that's what we do. Okay. Allow yourself time to grieve as well. Remember, it is okay to cry. It is okay to be angry. It is okay to express those emotions out, and just out. Not necessarily don't be angry at someone directly, but just it's okay to be. Grief and anger and mourning, it all comes as a package.
It's also angry. It's okay to be angry at God.
Yes. I'll tell you what, God and I had a very love-hate relationship.
God and I screamed at God. I was so angry. How can you do this to me? Why didn't you give me a miracle? We go to church every week. We do all this. Why are you doing this to me? And do you know what? That is acceptable.
All right, trust me. I went to a quiet part of Hamilton Gardens down by the riverfront and literally sobbed and screamed and swore and ranted and literally abused God for taking my daughter away from me. It is okay to be that. Sarah, honestly, love, I have no words. I understand we all understand those thoughts, love. And I'm just glad that you are here, and I'm glad that you're with us, and I'm glad that you can share your story in the chat. Because
the hardest thing to do in the world is live in it. It's actually a Buffy quote, by the way. The hardest thing to do in this world is live in it.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
Find coping skills. Like, this is one of the biggest things I found. I got into Fly Lady. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of Fly Lady. And it literally, I ran my life on a schedule because it was easier. I didn't have to think about what I had to do each day. It was all down in a schedule, and I just did it. After days of being okay, I saw a mother-son wedding dance on TV and sobbed. It hit me that I wouldn't have that with my Jessie. Oh, Gail, that breaks me, because I so understand I will never get to be the mother of the bride. So I hear you on that one. That one hits me in the feels very, very much. Oh, very much. Onions.
You have different kinds of grief for that one, because you have the grief with Bridie, but also have the grief with
Kenzie.
With Kenzie and Joshy. He's taking my papers.
It's easy to say reach out to someone, but most of the time it's just as easy to shut everyone out and just keep swimming. Rose, it is, and it is the easier option always, but having one person that who can hold you while you cry, who can distract you for half an hour, who can just listen to you on the phone or at the other end of a computer or whatever, makes a huge difference in your recovery, because the recovery is long and the pain never goes away. You learn. Okay, the grief stays the same. I think you shared this the other day. The grief stays the
Sarah
same.
did, yeah.
You just learn to deal with it.
Yeah. Your world gets bigger around it, I think it was it Sarah?
Yeah.
You can't leave that. It's not candy.
There is no time. There is no time restraints. There is no time limit. There is no, oh, you've been grieving for 6 months now, you've got to stop. 15 years, I still grieve her. 32 years, I still grieve Josh.
Yeah. Uh,
So
yeah, it doesn't stop. People expect you to get over it, but I don't. You learn to live with it. You learn to live around it, and yes, I'm picking you back up.
yeah, your world, like when after Bridie, my marriage fell apart with Pete, we moved cities to get away from everything. I met the love of my life. And now I'm literally so far away from it, but that doesn't mean it's not with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we just deal. And it makes, I had someone say to me the other day that I was cold when it comes to grief. I've lost a lot in my life, a lot of people I cared about. And so it's very hard for my mum, who is 81, and I'm being very matter of fact. Have you got your will done? Have you got this done? Have you got that? And I'm very boom, boom, boom. Oh, my brother. Almost close to, yeah. So in 3 days, it is the anniversary of my biological dad. So I understand, brother. I do understand. And I'm 50, so that's 48 years.
Well, Zachary's 2 years today, and I've had a few people message me, sending me love and remembering his name, and that is something that means a lot.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, because he was stillborn and they did the same with miscarriage, they don't think that that child has value or has consequence, and they don't worry about the name. They, like, I have people who, people who know, who refer to Josh as my first child, and he's not.
No.
I have literally gone through an entire pregnancy and delivered before. So he literally has. He is my second born, and that's something that means the world to me, is people remembering his name.
Yeah, it is.
So,
What is it?
yeah.
Mum is the name of God on all the lips of children.
Yep.
I don't remember where I heard that quote. I actually think it might have been The Crow. Maybe. Sounds vaguely familiar. We deal, we love, we lose.
Yep.
But we keep the ones that we lost alive by their names, by honoring them, and by acknowledging they existed in this world. They left a footprint on our hearts in this world in some way, shape, or form. They're not just a statistic. They're not just a fleeting thing that was here for a month or 2 months or 9 months or 27 years or whatever. They were still part of this world and our lives. I'm glad you had people, Sarah. I really am.
Yeah.
You know, Jeremy, we love you, brother. All of us here do. We do. The more you lose in life, the more blunt you get. It's not that you grieve less, but you understand process more. I have no one left on my dad's side of my family. It's a lonely feeling. Yeah. It's bizarre. As my mum gets older, my aunties, her younger siblings, are reaching out. And I'm slowly building a relationship with them, which has been quite interesting, to say the least.
He's still on the train, by the way.
Are you happy, Joshy boy? Yes.
He's just still on the tray. So Mum's not diamond paint. I could go get another tray. I'm not going to.
Oh, I've got to go get something from the studio before we finish too.
Yeah.
Hey, we have the same colour tray, Cathe.
Do we? This one's one of the Bella Art. Oh, cool.
But mine's
Beauty.
Firefly.
I have some Firefly coming.
I have a Firefly and I have a tray that I can't tell anyone where I got it from, but let me just
This
tell
is
you, I've
the
been
element.
playing with it. Oh, I like the inside.
So it's got 3. 1, 2, and 3.
No.
Yeah, this one's Bella Art, so I've taken the little, because they have separate caps off. So I'm excited for the Firefly because the caps don't come off.
I have two favorite tray makers now.
And then I got this one.
And we can't know who the second one is because there's someone coming out.
Yes, I can't tell you who it is yet. Let's just say,
are they in Australia?
yes,
Do we know them?
probably, kind of.
I think I know who it is. I'm so excited. If it's the person I think it is, I'm so excited because they mentioned they were going to do it, and I've been waiting, and I want them to do it, and I need their trays.
I've got one here that I'm using right now, and let's just say, if I was to choose between that tray and my Firefly tray, and everyone knows how much I love my Firefly tray, I would be hard torn because I like the weight of it. It's a nice heavy tray. I don't knock it. It's great. A few things I would tweak to my personal needs, but I'll be talking to them about doing something along those lines for me at a later date. But yes, I do love it. But anyway, just let me, I got given a present, and so I haven't even opened it, so I'm just going to go get it.
I'm hoping it's the person I'm thinking it is because I want them to bring their trays out, and I'm really excited because they mentioned it ages ago that they were thinking about it.
Do you like it in a candy shop?
I know. I love the fact of, I like the idea of having stuff in Australia because it costs so much for us to get stuff here, and probably it does to you in America as well. So having people in Australia doing stuff is kind of cool.
I got up too fast.
Are you okay?
Yes, but like he did. I started wearing dresses because I got given a whole lot of clothes that fit me. So
I'm wearing
did you get given them from Gracie? Because I know she's lost a lot of weight, hasn't she?
yes. So you'll see me in stuff that you would have seen. Some of you might have seen on Grace. Okay, so I got given a pen, and this is one that I think was one here on the channel. I'm neither confirming nor denying. I'm just saying I have a tray that I've been trialing and I love it.
I'm hoping it's that person. But,
so I got given, this is a TJ and Emily pen, and I really just want to give a special shout out to Rowan, who's Michelle's son. He me pleased this, and I just happened to raved about it when I was advertising it for Emily because I thought it was beautiful, and he gave it to me, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
oh, that's lovely.
So I have my first honeycomb pen. It is stunning. So thank you very much, Rowan. I love it, and I'll be using it probably not. Might be a little while before I use it, before you see me using it on live, because I plan my pens to my canvases. Does anyone else do that?
I don't have enough pens to do that.
Oh.
She really don't have enough. She's got less than I do. She's got like 5.
That many.
Oh, 3.
So you're going to use the free one next month, yeah?
Yeah. But I do have 2 more coming.
Okay, yeah, that's why I thought. Okay.
I'm just waiting on one of them to be turned because somebody's been busy working.
At the moment, I'm using a butterfly one because I'm doing butterfly princess. I literally try to match my pen and my tray to my canvas as much as possible, but I'm down to literally 2 trays at the moment. So
yeah, me too.
I have a favorite. I have 2 favorite pen turners.
I've tried 2. I've only tried 2 pens. Oh no, I've got an Enabler's Outpost, which I like. I like that. I'm going to use that for Pride Month.
They do the thick ones. I love it. They're my other favorite.
Yeah. I don't multi-place. Not at all.
Yeah, I alternate between all my pens too. This one's got a 5. This has got a 7. And this has got a 4.
At the moment, I can only have 1 out if they get stolen.
I take my multi-place out because it doesn't fit under my lamp with it. And I literally only use the single placer. That's it. The whole of Josephine Walls, I'm halfway through it,
Don't press the red button.
is hello, Mr. Guru, dribbles.
He likes red. Don't press the red button.
What are you doing? Yeah, so I single place everything because that's just what I like. And I know I'm not the only single placer in this group.
What is he trying to do, Kath?
He's trying to press the leave button. He likes the red buttons. He's trying to quit it. He does it when I'm on the phone to people too. He tries to press the red button and hang up on people.
Yeah. So I literally take this off because this pen, sometimes they can be a bit long, but most of the time they fit under my.
Yeah, I got a short one.
Yeah, I'm
This
thinking
is my
about getting a
first
short
ever-
one.
This is my first ever TJ pen.
See, I like the hybrids.
Mm.
See,
I
we're
don't have
all
a
addicted
hybrid.
to TJ anyway.
And this one was a gift from somebody.
Me.
Yeah. I knew it was you.
That was your birthday present last year, I think.
Yeah.
And you have
this is
You have
I have
a writing
another-
pen too.
a what?
You have a TJ writing pen too, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Hold on. It's over
Yes.
here.
So you,
Yeah, I have a
I'm sure that's
fountain
what
pen,
yes. Oh,
And this
Yeah.
is one of their writing pens.
I think I've got a writing pen and a fountain pen, I think. But it's in my box of stuff that I've put away.
And the writing pen was a gift from Cathe.
Yeah, I thought it was. I'm thinking, I'm sure that's what I did. I couldn't remember. My brain, oh my gosh. Mummy brain, does mummy brain never go away?
Eventually, when they're
I'm
21
gonna-
and they'll have time.
Oh dear.
Chris
Oh,
has
Chris
been
is a
writing
single
too
player.
much. I've got all this. So you're playing with your hair, and it just made me realize I've got new hair growing for the first time in about 15 years.
I cut my hairs last night, see? And I realized
Yes.
after I said I cut my hairs, because I said it to you guys and I said it to another friend who thought I was talking about different hairs on my body. And I'm like, oh, no.
It's growing though.
Yeah, but it was just really cringy at the bottom. And
It's a really
so
pretty color. I really like the color.
I like pink. Thinking about going purple next month, though.
I am missing my bright hair colors. So
This one
maybe.
is from, I get the vegan one from Woolworths. They're really vibrant colors.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
not a plug,
I'm
not sponsored.
a dark grey where you're a little nice light grey. So
Oh, I bleached my hair.
oh no, I can't bleach.
I do have some light bits, but I actually bleached it to try and get the orangey pink out that was from last time.
Yeah. Use a decolorant, not a bleach.
I meant to buy the color remover.
Color remover?
I bought the
Is it called color remover?
Yeah,
No, I
it's like
I didn't buy color remover. I bought the bleach by accident.
you know, you need to use if you're dyeing your hair, use a color decolorant because it's less harsh on your hair.
Oh, it was a decolorant, but it was still a bleach. It wasn't just color remover like the one I used before. So
I
bought the
do
wrong
have
one.
blue. I do have some leftover blue.
So that might be next one.
I might just do some streaks, maybe.
Yeah.
My hair's just started growing back for the first time in a long time. Like it's actually thicker and looks better. Like this is all new, brand new baby hair. I never get wispy bits.
You should
They
see
drove
my
me
wispy
crazy.
bits. Hold on, I'll show you. Let's turn the camera around.
Yeah, I've been doing it's called Milkshake. Two really good brand of products.
Your hair's looking really healthy too, Sarah.
My fringe is growing though. I need a cut. Look, it's over my eyes.
I've got so used to not having one now that I just don't bother, even though it makes me look like my mum more. There are worse things I could look like in this world. Yeah. All right, guys. We're going to call it wraps tonight, today, and we're at 10 minutes out, but that's okay. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you so much for listening to this story. I told my daughter that I ordered my hair dye, my shopping, and I forgot to order it. Oops.
Okay.
I've got wigs here that I'm going to need to sell on because, I don't need them anymore.
Let me climb on. Oh.
My hair's growing again. So if you see me scratching, it's because I've got new hair. It's new hair growth, not nits or dandruff or anything. But anyway, thanks so much for joining us for week 2. Don't forget to post your progress up on the Home of Rose Profit group. Cathe and I want to see.
Yes.
Next year, Cathe will probably set up a group specifically for this event. She'll be taking it on.
It depends on how my time goes. It's
yeah.
So,
if you've got a story that you want to share and you want to come on the live, please pop us a message. Let us know. Sarah, thank you so much for sharing your story, and Cathe for sharing more of yours. We telling them is very, very important, and just breaking the stigma and helping. It's actually healing to talk about it. So. He's all right.
Sorry.
He's okay. He's fine. All right, guys. Marira, kia kaha. Mwah. Bless your bums. Have a great week, and we will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm going to end this when my mouse decides to behave.